From Kecoughtan High School, WHCS Cable Channel 46 presents Peninsula District Boys Basketball. The Hampton Crabbers visiting the Kecoughtan Warriors. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hintz. We welcome you to Kecoughtan High School for this battle between the Hampton Crabbers at 8-0 and the Kecoughtan Warriors at 2-6. Right now, let's go courtside as Bob Hintz has head coach Walter Brower of the Hampton Crabbers.
Walter, this is a nice start here. The difference between this year and last year, you winning the close games early.
Well, you know, we're lucky. We got 8 of the guys back from last year, so that helps a whole lot.
Well, but you also have kids that coming off of football and are still trying to get in basketball shape.
Yep, the difference is we're not as dependent on them in the beginning this year as we were last year.
Well, that's got to help you a little bit. Do you feel like the chemistry is starting to gel real good with these young men?
It's slowly coming around. You know, I constantly tell them we might have to make changes and start lineup anytime, but, you know, as long as we get the job done, I can't complain that much.
Well, if you win, you can't complain.
Well, I hope we can continue to do it.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, thank you, Bob, and thank you, head coach Walter Brower of the undefeated Hampton Crabbers with an 8-0 mark so far in the season. Tonight's contest is brought to you through the sponsorship of Zooms with 5 convenient Hampton locations, Zoom Sitco, and Wood Funeral Home, where Richard Pulley is the funeral director. All right, let's go back courtside as Bob has head coach Chris Boland of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, Chris, first of all, welcome to the Peninsula District.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know it's being a first-year coach. You got to get used to the kids.
Right.
The kids got to get used to you.
Exactly.
Bringing a new system. How are they responding?
They've been responding tremendously. I couldn't be more happy with the progress that we've made with the program so far. Obviously, we've got a huge obstacle to overcome. The program's been down the past few years, but the kids have been working hard, and that's all you can ask for them, and they've been responding tremendously.
Well, you had told me that there's such a good group of kids,
yeah.
and that always makes coaching easy.
Yeah, it really does. It makes it enjoyable. I mean, we're 3-6 right now, which I'm not real happy with our win and loss record, but at the same time, the kids are so great to deal with, and our practices are so spirited. The kids are just like sponges. They're soaking up everything we've been teaching them, so I've been real happy with it.
That's got to be a real positive. And if you can see a change each week that they're getting better, that's got to help you.
That's exactly right. We set up some goals early on in the season, and one of them was to improve every single solitary time that we step out onto the floor. And I honestly can tell you, I think we do that every time, whether it's a practice, whether it's a game. You know, the kids have been coming along mentally. They're much better basketball players than they were at the start of the season. Now we just got to go out and keep improving.
Well, listen, good luck to you tonight,
Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's go back over to Tim.
All right, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Chris Boland, the new head coach of the Kecoughtan Warriors. And the Warriors experiencing some growing pains as they are 2-6 on the season. But, again, a young team and got some good players on the team. I'm sure Coach Boland will have these guys playing better and better week after week. About a minute away from the tip-off, I want to remind everybody that we will have a regular season schedule for you here on Channel 46. And we'll be bringing you contests each week for the balance of the regular season. And, Bob, you had the schedule we have, but I think you put it away somewhere just to throw me off. You gave me a copy? No, you wouldn't.
Friday on the 21st of January, we got Bethel at East Hampton Crabbers, and then we're going to have a Saturday game because of the exam week, and then January 29th we have Heritage at Phoebus. That'll be a good contest. On the 4th we have Denby at Phoebus, and then we should wrap up with the Kecoughtan, the Hampton game again.
And this is our only game at Kecoughtan High School, right?
That's correct.
Darn. No, I love Kecoughtan, but these combinations here for us to be able to see and everything don't give us backs to our seats, and it's tough on us old guys.
Well, you being old, that happens. But I want to thank Leonard Thomas. He's really helped us out.
What did Leonard do?
Leonard got us these seats. We went down here in the corner where we couldn't see. Leonard Thomas, of course, AD over here.
He's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
Good people here at Kecoughtan High School. Always a pleasure to come back. Buddy Denton over there at the scores table, and saw Rich McDonald and all the the Kecoughtan Warriors and lots of good people here at Kecoughtan.
Oh, I tell you, we really enjoyed it. Just had the lineups, and there's your officials tonight, Tim.
Jim Brennan is your referee. Woody Jackson and Mark Sutton are the umpires for tonight's contest. Three-man crew for the boys basketball.
Well, this will be an up-and-down game, and I asked Coach Chris Boland.
Did he play at Bethel, by the way?
Huh?
Did he play at Bethel? Is that where he played? The name sounds so familiar.
I know it does. I'm trying to remember where he played. But anyway, he's going to play up tempo when he can. He's not. He says, I'm not going to change my game, what I'm teaching these kids because of who we're playing. We're going to go out and try to do what we can. We're going to play transition. There we go. As you see the Kecoughtan starters, you got Harper, Booth, Tyson, Daly, and Willis starting for the Warriors. You like our logo there?
Oh, that's pretty cool stuff. Got some nice looking graphics.
Graphics looking good.
And there you see the Hampton huddle, and they are gathered around Walter Brower. And there are the starters: Higgins, Tabron, Story, Pender, and Robinson.
Timmy, one thing that Chris Boland said that they will press 2-2-1, three-quarter. They'll match up in a matchup man-to-man, play some matchup zone. They'll trap out of it. They're going to play transition. So they're going to try to do a lot of things. Walter Brower says we're still trying to get our football guys into basketball shape. They will do a lot of zone. They'll do trapping out of the zone. They're going to try to go inside to Johnny Story. If they drop it back, we'll go outside, then inside. Got some kids that he is really pleased with. This Taborn kid has just really come along and has done a good job for him. And you'll see a lot of young men out here for the Crabbers. They have a lot of good athletes on the team and a lot of personnel.
All right, this one's just about set to get underway. Those of you not familiar with high school basketball, there's 8 minutes in each quarter, and there's one tip ball, and that is the tip ball to start the game. After that, the possession arrow is in effect.
The only time we'll have another jump is we go to overtime, Tim, and we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams, and that player will receive a plaque and a shirt. Plaque comes from Buckwalter Engraving, formerly Buckwalter Engraving, now Engraving Inc., located at Taft Square and on Route 17. And for all your engraving needs, contact Jim at 596-8850. Dave Buckwalter's owner. The shirt comes to Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pecossin. They can meet all your sports needs with a full line of athletic goods, both team and individual, equipment and uniform, plus screen printing. Call Dave Chubb at 868-8467. John Roberts is the owner, and we're about ready to get. I think we got a little problem down at the end. We got too many things right out, almost on the court. Officials looking at that saying, hey, we need to make sure there's safety factors here. These young men, we don't want anybody to get hurt.
All right, the tip is controlled by the Crabbers. And this will be number 14, Marcus Higgins. Yeah, that's right, 14 now giving off to number 24, Tabron. This is Tabron with the ball to Johnny Story. His shot is too strong, and the rebound comes off to the Warriors. That's Joe Daly. A lot of these names will be familiar with you football fans for both of these teams. That is Mark Harper, who will kick it outside.
Well, Mark Harper's a shooter. Hampton in a man-to-man, as was Kecoughtan to start the game off. Hampton immediately went inside. Kecoughtan running their perimeter because it's a little harder to get it inside. They're going to try to up and go, and there's that Harper shot. Mark Harper's a shooter, Tim.
So Harper opens the scoring with a two-pointer. Just inside the line. Story working the low.
Oh, nice little, and you can't let him get the ball down deep like that in the box. He may miss one or two, but I tell you, he's going to make a whole lot more than he'll miss.
So it's tied at 2 here in the early going. This is Booth, number 5, guarded by Tabron. Top of the key, jumper's too strong, and the loose ball is controlled by Johnny Story of Hampton.
See how high he gets? It's amazing. It looks like he puts a little effort in it, Tim, and he's got to have a 36-plus vertical leap.
This is a three-point attempt, short. Offensive board, stick back is good. That's number 40, Chris Pender.
Chris is, Tim is a senior. He's 6'6", really playing big in there. And with the other teams concentrating on Johnny Story, really opens up to your other big men underneath the basket.
And the Warriors turn it over.
looking for a cut that time from one of the players, and he didn't make the cut.
Higgins has it stolen. Booth will bring it back. He'll throw it down the court, and good defense by the Crabbers getting back.
And that was, Tim, that was Nathan Robinson that made it back. If he hadn't been back, they'd had an easy 2 that time.
Reach-in foul is called against the Crabbers, so that will be a non-shooting foul. That's just the first foul against Hampton. Booth and Harper in the backcourt. Joe Daly drives on Story. Nice move. Got around Story, but Story got the loose ball on the rebound.
Story did a good job of not fouling that time, but that was a great move by Booth.
4-2 Hampton, and now a timeout is called. I believe that one was called by Coach Walter Brower.
Yeah, Walter, he's not real happy with defensively. He doesn't think they're playing as aggressive as they should be playing. And down here at the offensive end, you go inside, continue to go inside until Kecoughtan starts dropping back a little to give some help on Story, and that opens up your outside game. That's what he wants to see. As we watch the replay, he wants these young men to think basketball when you're out there. What will make things work for us?
That, by the way, was a 20-second timeout. That is a relatively new situation with high school ball. They've had it for a couple of years, but 20-second timeout was called by the Crabbers to just kind of reorganize and refocus.
Now the Crabbers are in that 2-3 zone, and hey, you can't
Good
be
steal by Booth, and Booth will lay it in.
You can't be lackadaisical in that zone, in that offense. That zone, even though it's a zone, they're still going to have man-to-man tendencies.
Story works it underneath. Jam won't go.
Got caught on the front of the rim and just bounced out. Nice move by Story, though, to get open.
And 2 as the Warriors, with Chris Willis scoring, lead 6-4. In the lane, the shot is good by Marcus Higgins.
Tim, he looks so good when he goes through the end. He can get up in the air, just stop on a dime, and just nice follow through.
6-all as we are just almost at the halfway mark. Story with the stick in on the alley-oop. Doesn't go, but he follows and does hit.
Well, when he went up for the alley-oop, he got it caught on the palm of his hand and not really been able to control it with his fingertips. But he stuck with it, got his own rebound.
Story with 4. Booth. Guarded by Tabron. Mark Harper to Willis. Willis will try the short jumper, and he hits it. Chris Willis with 2 baskets.
Well, he got himself a separation from Story. No way Story's going to block the shot if you can get a 2 to 3 foot separation, and that's what he got.
Baseline jumper, nothing but net for 44 Robinson, Nathan Robinson.
Real pleased with this young man, Tim. He is a junior. He's 6'4". He's come along real good.
In the lane, Willis. Chris Willis with 6 points.
One thing about the Warriors, they are very aggressively on the offense.
Willis comes into the game averaging just 3.8. He's already got 6. That one's knocked out. They say Story touched it last. A couple of substitutions for Walter Brower now, as in the game is number 20, Derek Fenner, and number 12, that's Jimmy Williams, as you watch some of the replay.
Well, now Derek Fenner last year, Tim, was the leading scorer of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
And
so this is kind of a homecoming for him, so to speak.
Off the mark is Harper's 3-point attempt. Crabbers want to push it up the court, but they can't quite make it click.
Got to be a good pass coming in there. Can't be low. Get the ball to the man so he can take it and lay it in, or take it in one dribble and lay it in.
Warriors will trigger as we are tied at 10. 3 minutes remaining in the first period.
Hampton just playing a straight-up man-to-man, no trapping out of this thing. They'll do some run and jump on you a lot of times with their defense. Nice dish off. Oh, great block.
Good block inside by Robinson.
Robinson made a good block on that. Got the ball before it hit the backboard. If it hits the backboard and you hit the ball, and that's goaltending.
Kecoughtan will try to take the lead, tied at 10, 2:47 remaining in the first.
Hampton playing a kind of a slacking off defense. They're man to man, but it's going to be some help defense.
Good feed down low. Ball won't go down, but a stick back is good. That's Willis. He's got 8. So Chris Willis out of the box quickly. And it's the Warriors up by 2 with 2:20 remaining in the first. Baseline, kick it outside. This is a 3, no good. Offensive board, stuck it up, no good. Story with the rebound, and he'll lay it in.
And you see, was that 2 offensive rebounds for the Crabbers? You know, they're going to score if you give them any offensive rebounds. Tied the game back up.
Story has 6. We're tied at 12. And we got a traveling call.
You start moving before you dribble that ball, they're going to call it every time.
Further substitutions now for Hampton. They bring in number, well, don't have a 32, so help me out here.
Yeah, Mac Jones. Tim, don't you have 32?
No, I didn't get
well,
that on
you didn't write Mac down. But don't let him get the ball and run over you.
See, that was what I got from our new source here, and I don't see a 32 on it.
Well, I got that from the same place.
Yeah, I know. Killen must have screwed up somehow.
It was Killen's fault, right?
Mac Jones, I know.
Oh.
Now, whose shot was that? Who got that one? I looked away.
Well, let's give it to Marcus. I think
Marcus was the one that got it. All right, so the Crabbers regain the lead, and the Warriors now turn it over.
Well, number 22 for the Warriors was Troy Green was going back door wide open, and the point guard missed him. No Mac Jones on there.
And now the Crabbers turn it back over on the traveling call. 1:13 left in a close game here, and I don't think anyone would have thought this game would be close. Crabbers dominating their last game out. They beat Gloucester 79-46 to run their record to 8-0, while the Warriors are 2-6. And their last time out, Woodside beat them by 19. And that ball still belongs to the Crabbers.
Well,
check out the Warriors.
Well, they're going to contest everything.
Yep.
I don't care. Inbounds, it don't make any difference. Crabbers, and that's what Walter wants them to do. He wants them to step up the defense a little bit, put a little more pressure on the Warriors. But I tell you, I'm impressed with the Warriors right now. They're playing great.
Well, could have called a foul on that play, as Booth was hammered when he went to the hoop, but nothing called, and now a foul is called. And Mac Jones will get a couple of shots.
And Mac that was a great pass. I don't think Mac was ready for it. I mean, he caught the ball. He's got good hands, but he wasn't looking for the pass. He was looking more for the rebound. When you got good ball handlers, as both teams do, you got to be aware of a pass coming out of nowhere.
Jones misses the first of 2. Now Chris Boland brings in some fresh bodies. Back in the ball game is Chris Willis after a brief breather, and then James Williams, number 32, checks in as well. Less than a minute to go here in the first period. Hampton by 2. Mac Jones trying to add to that lead, misses both free throws. So Mac 0 for 2.
He gave that ball to Kecoughtan, but it may have gone off the Kecoughtan Warrior foot.
Crabbers putting good pressure on the ball, and now they commit the foul.
And reach in.
That one's going to be called against number 20, Derek Fenner. That'll be a non-shooting foul. Each team with just one team foul here in the first period. Now that actually gives Hampton a second team foul, and a timeout is called, just a 20-seconder.
And I believe this was called by Chris Bowman, the Warriors. You got to be impressed with if you're a Warrior fan, Tim. They have not shied away from these undefeated Crabbers. Crabbers have not been defeated this year, but one thing Walter said, the difference of this year and that last year, as you heard in the interview, he's got a lot of kids coming from football, but he doesn't have to depend on them to get into basketball shape as quick and be starters right away. Got some other young men out there, so that helps him a little bit. Won the close games this year, and last year he lost the close games.
Kind of scary when you figure they're 8-0 and they don't even have their team completely in gear yet.
Really, nice job that time by Derek Fenner getting down the court.
Fenner gets the bucket, and now the Crabbers lead by 4. 26 seconds to go. Nice move on the baseline. The ball is tipped out, however, and back come the Crabbers. Got a 1-on-2. And a nice spinning move, but it won't go. Stick back is no good, but a foul is called. And Nathaniel Clouden, number 42, will get a chance to shoot free throws.
Derek Fenner did a great job that time, Tim. Used the basket to protect himself when he went up for the shot. Just was a little too hard on the shot. Crabbers got the rebound, got fouled. Now we got a 2-shot shot.
Here's your replay. You can see it on the...
Watch how he uses the basket. There's no way you're going to block that shot because he used the basket to protect himself.
So the foul occurred on the follow-up, and now at the free throw line, as I mentioned, is Clouden looking for his first points of the first half.
He's another 6'3 junior, Tim. They got a 6'3 junior, Robinson 6'4 junior. So you got 2 big kids in there coming back again next year. Of course, they're going to lose the big guys, 6'5 senior Johnny Story.
And both free throws missed at the other end.
But see how quick the Warriors are getting the ball down the court. Impressed with that.
And now the Warriors will get an opportunity. Here's your replay. Off the missed free throw. And to see the foul.
If you're on defense, you got to get back down. I mean, you can't loaf down the court with your back to the ball. You got to know where the ball is, and you got to hustle back down on defense.
James Williams at the free throw line. So both teams having difficulty finding the free throw accuracy. 0 for 4 for Hampton, and now that being the first for the Warriors, 0 for 1. Williams will try to break that, and he cannot. So both teams cold from the free throw line in the early part here. Crabbers still keep that 4-point lead. Tabron's shot no good, and the buzzer sounds to end the first period. So after 1, the Hampton Crabbers 16 and the Kecoughtan Warriors 12.
Tim, I do want to thank Zooms. Again, this year they're giving an award for the basketball player in each one of the teams that we do this year from the Hampton school system who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will receive award, a plaque that will be awarded to them at the school board meeting after the season's over. We want to thank David Allen and Zooms for the continuing support of WHCS Channel 46 and our student athletes. And of course, I want to report to you that HCS Reports has a new look. Join anchor Beth Sadler Monday through Friday at noon and again at 5 p.m. for all the news and information about the Hampton City Schools. And of course, you can always watch the school board on the first and third Wednesdays of each month right here on 46 Live. So tune in, be informed.
All right, the Warriors will have the ball to start the second period. As Joe Daly will trigger. Javar Booth. Get these young ladies to sit down here. Nice feed underneath for Joe Daly.
Oh, nice pass in there to come back up and just scored right quick like Tim. I mean, it was.
Who?
Oh, it was a nice pass from Marcus Hagens to, who was it? Jimmy Williams, I think, number 12. Was 12 out? No, that wasn't Jimmy Williams either. It was Tabron. Mario Tabron scored the basket.
Okay. I had to do some housekeeping here.
Well, you couldn't see. We moved up so people wouldn't get in the way, and they still want to, okay, we'll stand here.
Paying zero attention to the game, I might add.
They don't know what's going on?
But they paid their bucks. They can do what they want.
I guess so.
Within reason. Booth goes down hard, and he will be called for traveling.
Inadvertent trip that time.
More like sliding. And Booth a little aggravated by that call, and now one of the officials calls him over and says, you know, let's keep our cool here. Let's see if we can find out what happened.
Well, here,
they've tangled their feet up.
Yeah, it was inadvertent.
Yep.
But, you know, you can't call the kid for a foul. I mean, for a travel on that. You got to call a foul. Who got advantage?
It really doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
Even if I inadvertently tripped you, then you get called for travel.
But if you tripped me, it wouldn't be inadvertent.
Yeah, that's right. 18-14. Hampton on top with the ball. They've been less than impressive offensively here in the early going. And now you see nice shot from outside by Robinson.
No, that was Pender. Damn, number 40 made that shot. Nice move.
It was 44.
Okay. You look at the replay.
Oh, well, maybe I'm out. Show me the replay. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
I can't see with this parade going on here.
And it's a real quick parade, too.
Oh, yeah. They got all night.
Looks like the elephants coming to town. This is slow.
Now that is number 40. Same one?
Guy, same
all right.
guy.
So that time he got a 3.
And that was from the other side of the court.
All right. Well, we'll take away 2 from Robinson. 23-14 as Hampton now has quietly stretched that lead out to 9. And the ball hit on the rim. That will be a basket for Booth. So the goaltending call will give the bucket to number 5, Jamar Booth.
Kecoughtan in a 2-2-1 full court press. Hampton doesn't seem to be bothered by it too much.
Rebound comes off to Chris Willis, and then the Warriors throw it away.
That's unforced errors. That just kills you as a coach.
6:16 left in the first half. Hampton 23 and Kecoughtan 16. This is Mario Tabron. Guarded by Booth. Spins, shoots, no good. Story keeps it alive. Tipped it outside. Higgins won't get it to go. Offensive boards for Story. No. Story with another one. And now will he be called for traveling? No, they'll
it's got to
say
be a jump ball.
And the possession arrow will give it right back to Hampton.
4 offensive rebounds. But they didn't get the score. Good job by the Warriors of not letting them get the score, keeping pressure on them. There's 1,
2, 3, 4.
I lost count.
5. And actually 5 offensive boards. Air ball and knocked out by whom?
Off of a Warrior foot, I think. That was off of number 50, Sherrod Jones.
So the Crabbers will keep it. Higgins dishes right side, but we had a foul called before the basket. So wipe out the basket, and Higgins is called for the charge.
Yeah. And that was Jones that picked up the charge, and Tim Jones is the son of Richard Hall, the JV coach, sitting at the end of the coaches over there on the far end. That's his son.
You saw the replay. Hampton gets it right back. No scoring much happening right now as both teams are just kind of exchanging turnovers.
Jimmy Haggard coming up in the stands, running a little late, is he? But he's school board chairman.
Well, he probably figured this game started a little later, just like I did. That's why I was a few minutes tardy for the girls' game.
Well, Tim, we just figure. Oh, they quit selling tickets and Jimmy gets in. Well, that's being a school board member does that, I guess.
Still a few empty seats. Not many, though. Got a packed house.
That's what we like to see at these ball games.
Not much scoring going on right now. It's been a dry spell for both teams. In the lane. Got it.
Nice roll. Got the shooter bounce.
Jerome Kennedy with his first basket, and it cuts the lead to 5 now for Hampton. Johnny Story working the baseline and just stolen away.
Jones just took it out of his hands.
Sherrod Jones just stole it. Warriors dish underneath, blocked. Loose ball is chased down by Tyson. Now a three-pointer, good.
Mark Harper in it.
Mark Harper. And he makes it a 2-point game. How quickly that three-pointer will cut that margin in half. From 5, actually more than in half, from 5 to 2 like that. Now we got a foul underneath. And let's see, I believe this was going to be called against Kecoughtan, number 21. That will be Joe Daly called for the foul. Here's your replay. Watch the three-point attempt. This is right outside that line, a three-pointer by Mark Harper. Back to the live action now. Story is hounded out the corner, and a foul is charged to the Warriors.
Well, Story didn't say they're fouling me, but you could tell they were beating on him a little bit.
Johnny, an amazing story. No pun intended there, but he's just been terrific ever since his early days at Hampton, when Hampton had Blizzard and Curry and all the big guns. Johnny Story was just a sophomore, and all he did was just play amazing basketball.
I ran into Bobby Blizzard, and I was hoping he was going to be here at the game. I wanted to talk to him a little bit at halftime if we could, get a little interview with him. He's playing wide receiver.
Well, I saw him in the bowl game.
Yeah,
he was playing for Kentucky.
He told me, I said, so how come you're not playing? Nice block by Robinson. I said, how come you're not playing the tight end? He said, well, you got a All-American tight end in front of you. They wanted me to play, so he said they put me at slot. And the next thing I know, I'm wide out. I caught 11 passes this year.
Well, I saw him. I'd forgotten he was at Kentucky, quite frankly. I didn't think he was going to play a lot of football, and there it was. I heard him say the pass completed to Blizzard, and I thought, Blizzard?
I know that name.
Yeah. That was the bowl game between Kentucky and who was it? Been so many of them, I can't remember who it was now. Here's some replay of some of the action a moment ago. Fast and furious. 4 points is the difference. 25-21 as you see the Crabbers coming right at you. And then
he called that a palming.
25-21. Kecoughtan with the ball, down by 4. 3:37 left in the first half. And there's going to be a foul called against Fenner. That'll be at least his second.
I see Carlos Campbell coming in for the Crabbers, going to replace Pender, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. Still neither team in the bonus. Warriors with the ball. Two-pointer, good.
You just can't give them that open look.
So Philip Tyson makes it a 2-point ball game. The Hampton Crabbers finding a tough going here with the good play of the Kecoughtan Warriors. This is a three-pointer, no good. And the Warriors kick it out, but unfortunately they kick it right to the Crabbers. And back come the Warriors. They've got a 3-on-1. Short jumper, Booth, no good. Campbell with the rebound. He's got a Crabber down the court all by himself. This is Fenner for 2.
Kind of did a little cherry picking that time. Says, we're going to get the rebound. I want to stay down here and for the fast break.
So the Crabbers back on top by 4. 2:33 left in the half. In the lane, jump ball, good play by Johnny Story to tie the ball carrier up.
He didn't try to be smart and smack the ball and make a big statement. He put his hands up, caused the jump ball, which is as smart a move as you're going to find with big man underneath the basket.
Dion Tynes, number 50, comes in for Hampton. Daly will try it and hits it. A 3.
How quick it goes to a 1 point.
And that's what it is, 27-26. As the Warriors looking to upset the undefeated Hampton Crabbers. And they're playing very well right now. Higgins will try from the deep in the corner. No good. 2 Crabbers battle for it, and then 2 Warriors battle for it, and it goes out of bounds off of Kecoughtan. So Hampton will inbound.
Bob Killen just reminded me that Kecoughtan went into overtime against Bethel before the Bruins beat them.
Story in the lane. No good. Stick back is no good, but a foul is called, and Dion Tynes will get a chance to shoot 2.
I tell you, those balls from Story are they're about an inch away from going in.
Foul is charged to Joe Daly. Watch the replay here.
See Marcus Higgins bringing the ball in. Right, look at that, the elevation he gets, but that ball just hit on the side, just roll a little bit to the right.
Tynes hits the first free throw, and believe it or not, that is the first successful free throw attempt here in the first half. As
by either team?
Well, they've only been 6, but all 6 had found nothing inside the cylinder. Tynes takes care of that. He'll try the second one, in and out, but Carlos Campbell had the rebound, went down and got it out to a teammate. Fenner. Now this is Higgins. Top of the key for Tynes, down low for Story, and Story with a short jumper. You like that play because you know it's a high percentage play.
Well, nice job of getting the ball inside the Story.
Story had the rebound and got grabbed on the arm, so that'll be a foul.
Well, that was Tynes that got that ball inside on that last play to give Johnny that nice easy shot. You notice he goes to his right when he turns, and sometimes you got to vary that a little bit.
Foul this time is charged to Philip Tyson. That's his first. Higgins and contact, and an offensive foul is called. Interesting call.
Okay.
I'll just let it go at interesting. 30-26, the Warriors now with 1:25 left. Chance to slice further into the Hampton lead. Warriors down by 4. Outside jumper, good. That's a 2-pointer by Mark Harper. And that's our difference, 2. Tynes will try the jumper, no good. Loose ball is retrieved by Carlos Campbell. Campbell from the baseline shot off the mark, and now the Warriors have a lead man with a chance to tie the ball game, and they do. Chris Willis has 10, and it's 30 all with less than a minute remaining. Inside, Johnny Story with the easy basket.
You got to keep going inside to Story, but you got to have somebody dropping back defensively for the Crabbers. Kecoughtan taking advantage of when the guard penetrates, then nobody back.
Story blocks the shot, but it will be a basket on goaltending.
Well, you know, that's nothing wrong with that. I tell you, because they'll make that player next time come in, you kind of be looking for that guy going up to trying to smack that ball away.
Walter Brower complaining, and I don't know that he doesn't have a case. I don't think that ball would have gone in. I thought it was well short.
Well, but if it's coming down,
I know
you got to let it go.
No, I'm not disagreeing that the ball was on the downward arc, but I think it would have been short. And of course, the official can rule that the ball is short. Every shot that goes up in the vicinity of the basket is not going to be goaltending if you grab it in the air. But that one, Walter was vehement about his feelings. Now Hampton holding the ball for the last shot of the first half. Fenner in the lane, put it up. No good, but Story with the jam back. And the buzzer will sound off the rim. The basket would have counted from 3/4 court. But boy, has Hampton found themselves a game. If they came in here thinking Kecoughtan was going to roll over, which I'm sure they didn't think it, but so far it's been a good one.
It's been an excellent game.
All right, we'll return to Kecoughtan High School for the third quarter of action. The first, this brief timeout. Back here at Kecoughtan, our halftime festivities over with. The scoring in the first half found for the Warriors. They were paced by Chris Willis, who had 10 points. These are unofficial. 7 points for Mark Harper. He had a three-pointer and 2 twos. 5 points for Joe Daly. He also had a three-pointer and 1 2. 4 points each for Jabbar Booth and Philip Tyson, and 2 points for Jerome Kennedy. James Williams played but did not score, missed both of his free throw attempts. For the Crabbers, they were paced by Johnny Story, had 12 points, all from the field, 6 deuces. 6 points for Derek Fenner, 7 points for Curtis Pender, 4 points for Marcus Higgins on 2 twos, and 2 points for Mario Tabron, as well as Nathan Robinson, 1 point for Dion Times. For the Crabbers, they had 17 rebounds, 7 assists. Their leading rebounder was Johnny Story, and they turned the ball over 10 times. And the Warriors had 13 rebounds. Their leading rebounder was Sherrod Jones. They had 6 assists and 8 turnovers. So the game pretty close as we start the third period. Hampton leading by 2, and we've got a foul in the lane. This will be called against the Warriors.
Well, Tim, if that hadn't been a foul that time, that ball was going to be jammed down the basket because Story was wide open going to the basket, so they grabbed him.
That was clearly a good foul. So the Crabbers now will get it, and they'll turn it over.
You can't shuffle your feet before you go anywhere, and that's what the Crabbers did.
So the Warriors now with a chance to tie or take the lead if they can get a 3. And we've got a foul right at the center court.
That looked like it was on Mario Tabron.
I believe you're right.
Push in the back. So you said you want me to give you 5 points against when the Dallas goes up to, and you want my motorcycle that I just won.
Right.
You want it to put up as collateral?
By the way, you need someone to drive that thing back down here for you? I love driving motorcycles.
I tell you what. You got your license?
Well, I could get a license. I didn't renew it. I used to have. You have to have a certain license.
Yep.
But I did at one time. I owned a motorcycle back in my youth. Warriors looking to tie the game. Off the mark, no good. And rebound comes to Curtis Pender. Jimmy Williams with the ball. Cross court. Pender, no good, and good position underneath as the Warriors got the rebound and then lost it. And a foul. This will be charged to Mark Harper.
Well, again, if you want to call a good foul, because that was an easy 2. Now you're going to put them at the foul line. Have not been real consistent from the foul line, the Crabbers. So, you may not give up 2 that way. I guess we need to let the fans that are watching this game know what we're talking about as we watch the replay. Is I won a Redskin motorcycle, Harley Davidson, and Tim is trying his darndest to figure out how to get that motorcycle from him.
Well, Bob went up to DC Stadium or FedEx Field or whatever it's called this week, and just happened to enter a drawing that had been going on all season long, and the man walks away with a very nice Harley Davidson. So just trying to help you out, Bob. Just trying to take it off your hands.
Bobby Croft says, Al, give you 5 for it. I said, sure, Bobby.
Hey, that's not a bad deal. I'll give you 5-5. 35-32.
You're.
What are you going to do with it? Are you going to?
I'll probably end up selling it. I'm not going to. At my age, I don't want to get out there tomorrow. I like to have steel around them. I don't want my knees to become fenders.
Ruth told me you can buy her some of those little sparkly gems for that $15,000. 3-pointer from the corner. Watch the replay. You're going to watch the block underneath the basket here. Watch this. And rejection by Johnny Story.
But you got to learn not to slap the ball so hard because they ended up not getting the ball. He could have gotten the ball. He had a ball player there, one of his teammates, but just slapped it too hard.
That foul is called on Harper. That's his second. And the Crabbers tied at 35 with the Warriors. Hampton
I tell you,
8-0. Kecoughtan 2-6.
I tell you, Kecoughtan is hitting those threes. Harper is one of the leading candidates there, and that's keeping them in the ball game. That's off. You can tell that. But look at that rebound by Johnny Story.
Johnny Story had a dozen at halftime and adds another 2 to that one, and the Hampton Crabbers regain the lead by a basket. Harper. The defender lost his balance, and Harper makes him pay with a deuce.
Don't give me an open jump shot.
Tied at 37. In the lane, the one-hander is good.
Higgins looks so smooth going in there like that. Tim really has control of his body.
Marcus Higgins has 6. That one's going to be short. And Story, that was what I was talking about. That ball was down the downward arc, but it clearly wasn't going to make the rim. Higgins will put it in. Marcus Higgins with a couple of back-to-back
But
baskets.
see, nobody back for the Crabbers.
Oh, but Story got back and then got called for the goaltending. Story went down heavily.
I said, but nobody is back. Whoever penetrates that time, Marcus Higgins penetrate, you got to have somebody rotate back. Look at everybody's up.
Watch your replay here. This is Booth. And Booth got the basket.
I don't know if that was goaltending. It might have been a.
They look pretty close.
Yeah, I would have thought a foul before the goaltending, but that's me.
So the Crabbers have the ball and a 2-point lead. 5:22 in the third period to go. Three-pointer attempt, good. That one was buried in the corner by Curtis Pender.
6'6" guy can get outside and hit those threes.
Don't you love that if you're the coach? And you get him to shoot like that and then go inside. Daly inside, dishes it off, and Story gets called for the foul. Does not agree with the call.
He had both hands on the ball, but
he
he said he got him with the body. But I thought Johnny did a good job of not being aggressive in the block. Watch this thing. He just went up with both hands on the ball.
I didn't see him get him with his body either.
I didn't either, not from that angle.
Yeah, but the official right there.
Bob Killen said no.
So Larry, Curley, and Mo agree, right?
Yeah.
See, and even the Lord knows because the free throw attempt is no good. That's how I always judge these.
So Larry, Curley, and Mo. Is that what it is? Or no?
And there's no Mo.
Larry, Curley, Mo.
That's right.
No Mo.
No Mo. 1 out of 2 for Sherrod. Jones. And it's a 4-point Hampton lead. Full court pressure now.
Yeah, doing a little pressure, about 3/4 court.
Higgins, who's been warming up, misses this one, but got the loose ball and put it up and in.
He was so open on that drive, I think that's what kind of messed him up. He was too open, thought he was going to get some contact.
6 points for Higgins here in the third period, and that's the difference in the game. Hampton up by 6. Daly is checked by Higgins, and Higgins will be called for the foul. That'll be Higgins' third. Kecoughtan with a new scoreboard here, which is really nice. We noticed that this evening at Kecoughtan. There you see the new scoreboard at Kecoughtan. We've got team fouls, personal fouls, all kinds of good stuff like that. You see on the scoreboard Higgins number 14 with his 3rd foul.
Well, Bob Killen says the difference in the ball game right now is rebounds. Kecoughtan has got 14 rebounds, and the Crabbers have about 22, 23 rebounds. So it's almost 10 rebounds more, and that's right now is the difference, especially if you get an offensive rebound.
Story with that rebound. Block shot and the loose ball. Pender, who's warming up, no good on that one. Underneath, ball is loose and still loose, knocked out of bounds. Who touched it last? They say Hampton did. Kecoughtan 40, Hampton 46 with 4:08 remaining in the third period. Substitutions for the Crabbers now. In comes number 50, that is Dion Tynes. And out of the game is 44. I believe that's who checked out. That would be Robinson that came out. Warriors down by 6. And the ball is thrown away. officials now are going to talk about this one, and I think they're going to reverse that decision. And now they do, in fact, say, no, the ball belongs to Kecoughtan.
And that's a good job of the officials working together.
Absolutely.
The Crabbers have 11 turnovers, and the Warriors only have 9, Tim. And I'm sure Walter Brower didn't figure his team would have that many turnovers.
Booth drives in and out and in. DeMar Booth has 8 points, and the lead is 4. Ball spun around the rim and fell down for Booth. Cross-court pass. Now they work it down low, or try to at least, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Warriors.
And that's a mistake of the guy throwing the ball in. He threw the ball in where Story had to catch it, and a defensive man could get his hand on the ball. You got to throw the ball where the defensive man can only foul if he cannot get a hold of the ball. That was just not a real good entry pass that time to Johnny Story. Something you really got to work on. Put the ball where only your man can catch it.
Hampton up by 4. Story, top of the key, and he is fouled.
But I don't think that's the foul. I think the foul is going to be underneath the number 32, fouling. I think he fouled Deion Tynes. I think that was away from the action.
Before he actually called it on. Okay. Tynes is the party that has been check that. Troy Green, rather, 32, was charged with the foul.
Jimmy Williams hitting a 3, Tim.
And that boosts the lead to 7. Kecoughtan hanging tough.
Hampton still playing a man-to-man, but they help out away the weak side.
Three-pointer.
Coming right back with it. You got to stick with it. Joe Daly.
Joe has 8 points on a pair of threes now. And the lead back to 4.
Johnny just looked like he might have twisted his ankle coming across the center. We got a pushy foul underneath, but he come down on somebody's foot, and I see he limped a little bit. Talking to Johnny Story, you see he's kind of stretching the ankle out a little bit. Oblivious to what's going on.
All right, the Crabbers, 2:36 left in the third. 14-footer, got it.
I'm impressed with his touch on the ball. That's Tynes.
Deion Tynes gets a bucket. He's got 3 points in the game. And the Hampton lead is up to 6. In the lane, shot is too strong. Tynes with the rebound. Williams to Carlos Campbell, who's checked in. Down low for Story. Story fakes and puts the left-hander in.
Oh, nice. But that was an example of a great entry pass that time by Carlos Campbell.
Now the lead at 8. And a trip, and this time it will be a foul on the trip. Jimmy
Inadvertent,
Williams.
but you're right.
Yep. Because it gave an advantage, I guess. Non-shooting foul. Watch the replay down here.
Watch this left-handed. Nice job by Johnny Story.
This is Daly. Gets it out to Mark Harper. Minute and a half remaining in the third. And errant pass, but the Crabbers can't hold on to it as Curtis Pender lost it on the baseline.
Well, Tim, he came down and he was concerned about, I think, stepping out of bounds and kind of took his eye off the ball and looked to where he was going to come down. Not a good pass by the Warriors, but it's not going to hurt him.
And a foul away from the ball. That one is charged to Troy Green. That's his third. 6 team fouls against the Warriors, 4 team fouls against the Crabbers. Hampton will inbound the ball, leading by 8. Johnny Story, left side for Tynes, back to Story, and Story will be fouled and get a couple. And Story is shaken up a little bit.
That was a hard foul.
Yep. You know, the nice thing about this new scoreboard is you can never tell, because they don't announce fouls and because the officials face away from us, we never knew who the fouls were being called on.
Before, we were in the dark.
Yeah, that's right.
And we
more
have
ways
been
than
in
one.
light. Well, I didn't want to go into that.
Sherrod Jones getting set to come back in, and does for Kecoughtan. Johnny Story will get a pair.
I tell you, he usually is very accurate from the foul line. Nice touch on the ball. Got the shooter bounce. Usually when you say that, they miss.
Story's first trip to the free throw line. Hampton had 6 attempts and was just successful on 1 in the first half. Kecoughtan missed their only 2 opportunities. And neither team has been to the free throw line all that much. Now Story, you jinxed him for good on that one. He misses the second. 54-45, Hampton's biggest lead, a 9-pointer.
Hampton's still playing in that man-to-man, and they will help out when the guy drives to the basket.
Less than a minute now. Blocked nice and cleanly. No foul on Story on that one. And he gets down the court quickly, and there will be a foul at the other end. That will give 2 shots to Curtis Pender.
He did a good job of getting down, but it was a great outlet pass by Johnny Story. Makes the block. Watch the block. Well, we just missed it, but he made the block, got the ball, got it down court, got a man at the foul line.
Curtis Pender. He's got 10 in the ball game, including a pair of triples. And it cannot hit.
Hits those 3-pointers, Tim, and can't make the 15. And coaches wonder, you know, why? I mean, nobody's in your face. You can take your time, make the shot. One of the toughest shots in basketball is that free throw shot. But you got to be consistent at it. You got to do the same thing every time you get up there, just like hitting a golf ball. You got to be doing the same thing, and I can't do that.
Pender
with the basketball
misses both. So the Crabbers failed to add to their 9-point lead.
Another block by Story.
The Warriors get it back. Underneath, Story causes the partial block, and now Carlos Campbell has it quickly down the floor. Good steal. Booth with the steal. He'll pull up, no good. Story bats it loose. Tynes grabs the rebound and gets fouled. Get a chance to watch a replay of the Giants.
There it is. He got the rebounds, and that's what a lot of times the kid wants to go up and make a statement by hitting the ball so hard it goes out of bounds and into the stands. Hey, block the shot, get the ball yourself. Johnny shows you why.
Kecoughtan wants to take a timeout. 21.8 seconds remaining in the third period. So Chris Boland is going to talk it over with his troops. I haven't seen an indication that it's a 20-second timeout. I'm not sure.
Well, Tim, regardless now, we will pick a player of the game from each one of these teams today. The plaque that they receive comes from Engraving Inc., located at Tabb Square in Yorktown. I mean, on Route 17, really. The shirt comes from Islander Hardware and Sporting Goods, and they're located in Pecoughtan. We appreciate both of those establishments for helping us by showing us that they will give a player of the game a shirt and a plaque. I'll get it out in a minute. Trying to think of 2 different things at the same time.
Where is next week's game we're going to do?
I think we go to
Bethel?
Bethel, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's Denby and Bethel, is that right?
It's at Bethel, Denby and Bethel.
We'll be there for both the boys and the girls game, and want to see you out there in person. Come on out and support your favorite high school team, whether it's Bethel, Denby, Kecoughtan, Hampton, whomever.
Phoebus.
Support Phoebus.
Don't forget the Phantoms.
The Fighting Phantoms of Phoebus.
I tell you, they went up to Christmas tournament up in Fairfax and won it. David Blizzard doing a good job over there at Phantom Land.
And Chris Pender hits the first of His free throws.
And is that the first time anybody's had a double-digit lead, I believe, isn't it?
I believe it is. 9 had been the biggest lead, and now it's 11 as Pender hits both. And we've got a foul called.
I think that's Jimmy in it.
Jimmy Williams, number 12. That'll be his second.
There's a fan that is enjoying this game. She is enthralled with what's going on. Who called that foul, she said?
21.8 seconds. Hampton by 11. Trying to put the pressure on the Warriors, keep them from getting an easy shot. Booth is fouled, and I think Carlos Campbell got him before the shot. Or maybe they'll give it a continuation.
He is giving a continuation. That's not a good call. You don't have continuation.
Well, watch the replay. You be the judge here. Here's Campbell in the middle of your screen.
Foul right there.
And then he shoots well after he was fouled. He hadn't even started to go up toward the basket.
I don't know how you can call that a two-shot foul, but again, I don't have one in striped shirt.
Well, you know, I'm not partial to either one of these teams. The point is you get a call right. You know?
Well, I called my brother and I told Ronnie, I said, Ronnie, I need to borrow your Redskin jacket. So when I go up and get that thing, I'll look good.
And come back alive. So you didn't answer me. Who's going to drive it back?
I'm gonna go up and tow it back or put, you know, we're not driving it. No way from Orange, Virginia. No, that's up by Culpeper.
Oh yeah, well, you know, nice 25 below zero day. The wind chill should keep you nice and frosty.
It will keep me frosty.
Warriors bring the lead back under double digits, down to 9. Tynes, Lane, put it up, no good, and then a foul. And it looks like Tynes might have done the usual. You miss your shot, and out of frustration, you commit a foul.
Yeah, you don't follow up one mistake with another mistake. Johnny Story getting a breather right now, and I don't know that his ankle didn't hurt a little bit, but I don't see he's got any ice or anything on it. Diane Limerick, who is the trainer over there, would be helping him out if he had any problems. You having problems with your equipment there, Tim?
He's trying to get away from it. All right, at the free throw line for the Kecoughtan Warriors, Troy Green. 6.9 seconds remaining, and Green cannot get that first one, and if you don't get the first one, you don't get the bonus. But Daly gets the rebound.
They stole the ball.
And slices back into that Hampton lead as the buzzer sounds. It's Hampton 56 and Kecoughtan 49. So the Warriors definitely hanging around.
Watch the replay right there. You saw the steal right at the end of the game, or at the end of the third quarter.
So Kecoughtan, who is a decided underdog in this game, hanging tough as they are down by 7. They were down by 2 at halftime, so the Crabbers were able to pad the lead a little bit.
I tell you, it's not been easy. The Crabbers come in here undefeated. The Warriors come in here with 3 wins. And, you know, and everybody coming to the game thought, well, this is going to be maybe not a blowout, but Kecoughtan is going to have to struggle. They have not struggled. They led early, and it's been, and there's Miss Susan.
Well,
good shot.
He's trying to confuse us. Now we got Susan and we got Sarah, and what is going on?
See, he don't even know. We're in trouble when Scotty don't know. Sue Sarah, okay. Sue Sarah is up there on one of them. Nathaniel Braxton's on the other side. Of course, Ron Baton is the young man on the end line.
Daly couldn't get the ball soon enough as Tynes was able to knock it out of bounds. Could have gotten it to Daly a little sooner. He might have had an open shot, but by the time he got it, Tynes was able to recover and block him. Hampton up by 7. I wish they'd build these gymnasiums. We should build these gymnasiums bigger.
Get out of my way, I'm walking out of here.
There's no room in this gym. There's no room at either end or on either side. Yeah.
Nice block that time by Johnny Story and gotten the ball out. Nice job that time.
I'm impressed with this Tynes, Dion Tynes. has played well.
5 blocks for Johnny Story in this game, says our stat man Bob Killen.
Statman Bob.
Statman Bob.
Pass behind Booth and or check that Harper rather. I'll get it right yet. It's Daly. I can't see for all the heads here. I've got heads in front of me, heads to the left of me. This is Booth, and his shot won't go down. And Pender gets the board for the Crabbers. And Tynes just can't hold it at the baseline.
What a pass by Marcus Higgins. Just real hot coming in there. Tynes just couldn't quite hang on to it.
That was a bullet.
Bullet with a lot of mustard on it.
So the Warriors down by 9, 58-49. Will bring it up across the timeline, just barely get it across the 10-second line. Warriors looking for the good shot. Harper with the screen, put it up. The high arching shot won't go, but the offensive board was there.
Another block. That's the 6th block by Johnny Story.
Oh, in and out as the Warriors almost had a 3 there, and back come the Crabbers. Story, top of the key, right side. Pender, kick it back out. This is Higgins. Higgins spots Williams alone, and he traveled. Good call.
I tell you, Marcus Higgins could put some mustard on that ball, can he?
Yep, but that one was a little too hot, and Williams traveled before he put it on the floor. Watch this. And what you couldn't see very clearly was he moved his feet before he went up and got the call for the turnover. And the ball stolen by Higgins, but a foul has been called.
And I don't know where the foul is.
I didn't.
Oh, the foul is on the Kecoughtan guy.
I was going to say, because Higgins didn't appear to foul him.
The foul,
okay, so that's on Daly.
Yeah.
Well, that makes. I thought they were calling on Higgins.
And Marcus was saying, what?
Yeah.
There's a clean steal. Has a good shot at Walter Brower.
58-49, 6:10 left in regulation. I guess we could say that, as this game is far from being conclusive at this point. Kecoughtan has hung tough all game long. Playing more like a 6-2 team. What did you say the record is? 3-5?
3-6, I think.
It's actually 2-6 according to the stats I got from sportscombine.com.
Well,
but I was told that was wrong, that they're 3-5, so I'm not sure.
3-5. I thought the coach told me 3-6 during an interview. Regardless, we got a 10-point game. 6 minutes. Hampton standing there man-to-man. It has not deterred the Warriors. They are really playing heads up.
And that one goes over the backboard and will go over to Hampton.
Harper was on the first half, Tim. He's turned a little chilly in the second half.
$10 points is the lead for Hampton. Trying to improve their record to 9-0.
Nice entry pass. Nice entry pass. Good job that time by Pender. Not only can he shoot the ball, but he gets a great entry pass into Story.
19 points unofficially for Johnny Story in the ball game. Harper for 3, no good, and Higgins will bring it out. Higgins to Pender at the baseline, and Pender's shot is off the mark. Story knocked it out.
You got to use the backboard, and that's what Pender didn't do that time, Tim. He tried to roll it in there and it went wide over the basket. A nice pass by Higgins. We've said that more than one time this year, or this school year.
Right.
This school year.
All right, so the Warriors now bring it to half court and do call a timeout. There you see the score, 61-49. Favor, going to start thinking about players of the game.
Yes,
Bob,
sir.
I'll give you some hints here. We got Kecoughtan.
I am a hint.
Yes, a different kind of hints.
Oh, okay.
We got Harper, who had 7 points in the first half. He's added 5 here in the second half, so he's contributed certainly. 4 points for Booth in the first half. He's added 6 more, so we got a couple of double figures there. Joe Daly's played well. He's got 10 points as well. Chris Willis had 10 points, but all of those came in the first half. He's been kind of invisible here in the second half. Those are some of your leading scorers, at least for the Warriors. Johnny Story's had a strong game, had a dozen in the first half. He's added 7. He's got 19 in the game. 10 points, let's see, make that 12 points rather for Curtis Pender. 3 points for Nathan Robinson. Let's see, Marcus Higgins, who had 4 at halftime. He's added 7, so he's got 3 Crabbers in double figures here in the ballgame. And we'll be picking, and again, we emphasize the lack of science in our method here. We pick them on impressions and just gut feeling, I guess. Now, what do we got? We got a 20-second timeout call by Hampton. So back-to-back timeouts. That'll give me a chance to stretch the old vertebrae here.
Is that what you're doing?
I'm telling you. These seats are good spots. We got a great half-court spot. I'll just stop there.
If the people would take their heads off, huh? But you're right, this gym is so small.
But really, I've been surprised, quite frankly, that there aren't some players get hurt every now and then because there's no room here. There's padding underneath the basket, but on either side of the doors there's no padding.
Well, and down here, there's none once you get outside the basket area a little bit. So we need to get a campaign up to build a bigger gym for the Warriors.
That's right.
You will donate the first amount of money, right?
Well, I was thinking of Redskin Harley Davidson.
Yeah, I figured that.
All right, so the back-to-back. All right, Bob's now going to go out there and do a triple handstand with an inward tuck 2.5.
Killen asked me to hold the stuff. He's going to go out there and do something.
Yeah, do some acrobatics. All right, a close ball game. It's closer than most people had figured. The lead now is 13. That's the biggest lead of the game. And Bailey can't hold on to the ball, lost his footing, and loses it on the end line. And the Crabbers up by a baker's dozen. Now they'll bring it up with 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Chris Boland's Kecoughtan Warriors have shown themselves well, and now the foul called against Booth.
Well, you can't body the guy, especially way out almost at half court with a referee right there. You can't be pushing your body against him and not expect to get a call. The foul, watch this, the fouls are called because you gain an advantage right there. You can't be bumping him.
Even in the NBA, they don't let you do that.
Well, they might let a little more than that, but we're not NBA here, we're high school. And
hey, speaking of high school, what about that performance by Michael Vick the other night in the national championship game? Kid out of Warwick High School.
Exhibition he put in, 322 yards. He contributed himself.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you, this area puts out some of the best athletes anywhere in the United States. And Ronald Curry and Michael Vick and Allen Iverson and many, many more. I can't even start to remember them all. But those are pretty good 3 right there, you think?
I think so.
Michael Vick finally getting the attention and the notoriety that he should. Steal by Williams, and Williams will lay it in. So Jimmy Williams has 6 points, and his team is up by 15. Now back the other way, blocked by Story.
That's got to be number 7.
Crabbers now trying to dominate the game. And a travel. They say he took an extra step. Hampton now getting a little breathing room, up by 15. Here's the travel. See if you can pick it up.
I don't know that was a travel. You can come down with both feet and go back up. Story has 14 rebounds, 7 blocks, 3 assists, plus the 19 points he's got.
Well, not too shabby at night.
I think that's pretty good.
And make one more block, and now they call a foul.
Johnny got all ball, but that's okay. You're going to get the fouls called at that occasionally.
Let's watch this one, and you be the judge. Here's the play underneath. Watch Story, number 30, middle of your screen. Rebound is going to come out. Well, what did he hit him with? He got nothing but ball.
Well, again, that hard slap on the ball will pull up a rebound, pull up a foul quicker than just hitting the ball. I don't know.
I didn't see him anywhere close to the body, and he certainly didn't get.
Gordon White, one of the assistant principals over at Hampton High School, sitting there talking with Alicia Morse, the young lady that broke her finger. Played for the girls tonight. Limited action, normally is a starter, didn't start tonight. Emily Smith started in place of her, but did get to play. Nobody hit the blackboard. Bring it out.
Chris Willis missed horribly on that. He's 0 for 2 on those. The Warriors struggling at the free throw line.
You say he's an 0 for?
3 for 9 tonight, the Warriors at the charity
that's
stripe.
not good.
Unofficially. We're more than halfway through the fourth period now. 3:55 remaining. Hampton up by 15 and the ball. Down low, Story, and Story is hammered, grabbed. I mean, that's ridiculous. Come on.
And if that's not an intentional foul, I haven't seen one, and I don't see him giving the intentional foul.
Well, he hadn't had a chance to signal to the table yet. I would. Oh, come on! You're kidding me. Intentional foul, for those that wouldn't know, would mean the ball would be also given to Hampton at half court.
I mean, look at that. He grabbed him and pulled him down. Tim, if that's not intentional, he didn't go for the ball, and that's what an intentional foul is. 3 officials and nobody called that. That was not good.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Johnny Story rattles it in and out. I will just say this. I've seen better officiating here on the peninsula than we've seen tonight, and I'll just let it go with that. These guys have a tough job.
Oh, there's no doubt about they got a tough job, but, I mean, they're –
Story 1 out of 2.
Well, that gives him 20 points. We're close to it, doesn't it?
12, 18, 20 points, yep. Averages a little better than 18.
Another block.
Higgins lost it, though. This is a 3 short. Carlos Campbell with the long rebound. Hampton by 16. Don't have to shoot. Now, they're not in any hurry to shoot, but they do, in fact, take the shot. Rattles it in and out and knocked out of bounds by Kecoughtan. Zoom's Citgo, 5 convenient Hampton locations. They've got the Citgo gas. They've got great food. All the beverages and ice.
Beantown coffee.
Beantown coffee. Potato wedges. And soon coming to my neighborhood. Not a moment too soon. Johnny Story in the lane scores 22 unofficially for the sensation from Hampton, and Chris Boland says, we got to take a timeout, guys. We're down by 18.
Well, they've kind of lost their focus. The outside shot's not there. They're still shooting it, but they're not playing as smart as they did the first 3 quarters. And I think that's one thing that Chris is going to talk to them about is, fellas, we got to get out here and improve each time. Got to do the things that kept us in the game the first half.
3:05 left in the ball game. Again, we remind you, next Friday night we'll be at Bethel High School for the contest between the Bruins and the Patriots of Denby. Like to see you out at the ball game, and don't forget to go out and support your favorite team. And oh, by the way, you also can see the girls' game between these two squads.
That's right.
That will be showing here on Channel 46 as well. Hampton tonight, just glancing at the scoring, Johnny Story with 22 points unofficially. Curtis Pender has added 12. Marcus Higgins double figures. He's got 11 unofficially. 7 points for Jimmy Williams.
Want to talk about our crew too while we got a chance. Director Scotty Bowers, graphic and audio. Andy Foley, engineer Dan Rouse, the cameras Nathaniel Braxton, Sue Sarah Bowers, Ron Baton, slow motion is the replay, Bev Penn. Appreciate all the effort.
Do we have any mobile cable technicians tonight?
I don't see any. No mobile cable technicians.
Phantoms down by 18, needs some scoring. Booth. Double team, gives underneath, and a shot, no, traveling before the shot.
And that was because of the intimidation of, among others, Johnny Story.
2:41 left. Hampton feeling the full court pressure, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Warriors.
And that was number 40, Chris Willis. And Chris, I think, hurt his hand a little bit, knocking that ball away.
Higgins will trigger and gets it into Pender. In the lane, Story shot no good, but he follows with his own rebound and sticks it in.
He's almost got a double-double in blocks well, he's got a double-double in scores and rebounds, 15 rebounds, but almost a triple if he gets 2 more blocks.
And Story too close to the rim, can't get it in, but he'll bank it in. And so Story with 12 in the first half has added 14 here in the second half, 26 on the night. Shot no good, and Story battles for the ball with Chris Willis and goes down hard, and the possession arrow will give the ball over to the Crabbers. Here's some of the action for you. The tie up between Willis and Story. Minute 50 to go. Hampton now up 71-49. In the lane, shot no good. Yes, it is good. Got the nice roll.
Nice.
Looked like it was going to come out.
Yeah, it was.
Nathaniel Clouden with the bucket. Harper in heavy traffic. Gives to Daly. Daly forced one up, and a rebound taken down by Time. Quickly for Carlos Campbell, no good. Campbell and another Crabber battle for it. It comes out to Tynes. Underneath, stick it in as the Crabbers now getting all the breaks as Clouden has back-to-back buckets, and the Crabbers up 75-49. And this one is now all but in the books. Higgins with the bucket.
We got a hurt player, Tim, too. I think, was that Jimmy Williams?
Is it Higgins?
Oh, it's Marcus. Hey, he went up, Tim, and that shot. He looked like he wanted to dunk it and couldn't, and it grabbed his leg like he may have pulled a muscle or something.
Well, there you see the replay, and he just came down holding his right hip or right side, might have pulled a groin muscle. So Higgins will check out of the game. 77-49, 28-point lead, but it was much closer than that.
Yeah, first 3 quarters, they didn't get a double-digit lead until well into the third quarter.
After 3, Hampton was up by 7, so they've added 20 to their lead here in the. I don't know if I've got this right. I have Kecoughtan being shut out in this quarter.
Oh, no, really?
I had them at 56-49, and it's 77-49.
Well, they got 2 there.
They got 2 there. That can't be right. Killen, he's not keeping scores. We're less than 30 seconds now, 27 and moving. 26-point lead as Hampton will make it 9 in a row for the season. Now a timeout, 22nd timeout called by Walter Brower. Thank you, Walter, because we needed a second to kind of wrap things up here. Tell you about our choices for players of the game. And I'm going to steal it while Bob's got his headset off and tell you my player of the game is Johnny Story from the Hampton Crabbers. Now, who's your player of the game from Kecoughtan, Bob?
Well, I wouldn't even listen to you. I was talking to Bob, and, you know, he says that Kecoughtan missed 11 straight shots, so they may not have scored until they end there.
I had it 56-49 after 3.
Yeah. So who did you pick? I picked Johnny Story.
No, I picked Johnny Story.
You did? Oh, I thought I did.
I'll let you pick Johnny Story. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to go with Chris Willis because in the first half he had 10 points and kept them in the game, quite frankly. Didn't get much contribution in the second half. And again, there's certainly no great science to our picking of this, but Willis is my choice. Johnny Story for Hampton, as the Crabbers now will finish the ball game. Shot off the mark, but that does end the game. And if I have this correct, and I'm pretty sure I had it right,
They scored 4 points, and
they didn't score until the final minute.
Yeah.
Hampton virtually shut them out. Of finally a 4-point fourth quarter for the Warriors was their undoing.
Well, congratulations to Johnny Story and Chris Willis has been our players of the game. They will receive a plaque and a shirt from Engraving Inc. and Kecoughtan Sporting Good Hardware.
And we do want to thank our sponsors again, Zooms, David Allen's Zoom Sitco, and Wood Funeral Home in part for their contribution to our coverage this evening. And I want to thank our crew. And again, we remind you, we'll be at Bethel High School next Friday night for Bethel and Denby. Hope to see you at the game. Come on out and support your high school basketball team. Final score again is Hampton 77 and Kecoughtan 53. For Bob Hintz and Bob Killen and the entire Channel 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.